The twin suns of Veora Prime hung low in the sky, casting long liquid gold shadows across the Council's orbiting chamber. From far below, the planet shimmered like a jewel suspended in the velvet of space. The chamber itself floated effortlessly, a colossal structure of crystal and metal, radiating faint light that danced across the hull of every arriving ship. Delegates from countless star systems were already present, their forms strange and beautiful, beings with translucent skin, others covered in metallic exoskeletons, and some whose very bodies seemed to ripple with energy. Each had come to represent the will of their worlds at the Galactic Council of Interstellar Peacekeepers, an assembly older than most stars, tasked with keeping harmony across the galaxy. From the docking bay of the Star Weaver, Captain Elric Voss stepped onto the luminescent floor. Humans were rare in these halls, and he could feel the weight of every gaze turned toward him. His tall frame, clad in a tailored navy suit reinforced with adaptive armor, exuded quiet confidence. Beside him, Lyra Kestel, a strategist whose sharp mind could dissect the most intricate cosmic puzzle, moved with an effortless grace. Her auburn hair, tied back in a precise braid, glimmered faintly in the chamber's light, catching the attention of several delegates who whispered in curiosity. Last in line was Rian Sorrel, a prodigy engineer barely 23 by human standards, yet his bright blue eyes held the spark of boundless curiosity and youthful audacity. They paused at the chamber's central platform, the assembly hall stretching infinitely in every direction, suspended in zero gravity by invisible forces. From this vantage, the council looked like a galaxy unto itself, every delegate a star, every gesture a constellation of meaning. Elric inhaled deeply, letting the enormity of the moment settle around him. This was not just diplomacy. This was humanity stepping onto the galactic stage, unarmed but unyielding, bearing only intelligence, courage, and the promise of cooperation. A subtle hum rose from the chamber as the presiding elder, Thaler Varen, manifested. He was a being of living energy, an aura of shifting colors radiating from a core no human could ever fully comprehend. His voice reverberated through the minds of every delegate simultaneously, calm yet commanding. Delegates of Earth, you arrive at a council old as the stars themselves. Speak and let your intent be known. Elric stepped forward, his voice carrying across the vast hall. We come not as conquerors. We come not with threats. Humanity arrives to offer understanding, ideas, and partnership. His words, simple yet firm, seemed to ripple through the chamber, stirring whispers among the council's many members. A cluster of delegates floated closer, their forms glimmering like liquid crystal. A being named Shylark, with limbs that elongated and shimmered with faint bioluminescence, regarded Elric with curiosity. Your species is small in numbers, fragile in form. Why should the council trust you to mediate among the stars? Elric's gaze met Shylark's without hesitation. Because humans survive where others fail. Because we learn quickly, adapt relentlessly, and value life even when it seems impossible. We do not claim wisdom. We claim effort. That, we believe, can be enough to make a difference. Lyra stepped forward, her calm, measured presence adding weight to Elric's words. We understand that trust is not given lightly. Our species has made mistakes as all do. But we also learn from them. Our resolve, our ability to listen and adapt, is what defines us. We are here to listen first and act wisely second. The chamber fell silent. Delegates exchanged glances, a silent conversation in forms beyond words. Some radiated skepticism, others curiosity, and a few, rare among the ancient council, seemed genuinely impressed. Elric sensed the shift. Humanity's reputation was limited to rumors and myths, but here, in this chamber of cosmic power, it would be forged anew. Rian, unable to remain silent, floated forward, his youthful energy evident in the way he gestured toward the council. We are not perfect. We will make mistakes. But humans have something few species possess. A relentless drive to try, to solve, to endure. We believe that even in the darkest void, we can find a path to understanding. An elder of the Iltherian cluster, a being composed entirely of swirling plasma, emitted a sound that translated roughly as laughter. Audacity, it said. Fragile, small yet audacious. You speak as if the galaxy has no consequence. Tell me, human, do you understand what challenges await? Elric's eyes did not waver. We understand enough to know that indecision costs lives. We will act when action is needed, but always with thought and care. That is the human way, courage measured with conscience. For a moment even the air seemed to pause. The council, used to millennia of rigid protocol, was unaccustomed to such clarity. Humans were direct, resilient, and unpredictable, a combination that both frightened and fascinated the ancient beings. Lyra gestured to the holographic display at the chamber's center, showing the unrest in the Zypherian sector, a region of space racked by unstable wormholes and political tension. We come with solutions, yes, but also with questions. We will not impose. We will seek first to understand, and then, together, we will find a way forward. Thaler Varen's energy shimmered, a ripple of approval passing through the hall. Words of courage, yet we shall see if action matches intent. The galaxy watches, Earth delegates, and so shall your deeds define your place among us. Outside the chamber, the twin suns of Veora Prime dipped below the horizon, casting violet and gold streaks across the immense viewport. The Starweaver's hull reflected these colors as if the ship itself had absorbed the brilliance of 1,000 stars. Elric looked at his companions. Lyra's eyes shone with determination, and Rian's youthful grin was unwavering. Together they represented not just humanity but hope, a spark in the ancient, sprawling galaxy. As the chamber doors closed behind them, a low hum of anticipation filled the space. The Council would challenge them. The galaxy would test them. But humans had arrived, and for the first time in countless millennia, a small, adaptable species had captured the attention of the universe's most powerful assembly. And in that moment, as stars shimmered beyond the viewport and countless eyes regarded them, human resolve shone brighter than any nebula, brighter than any star, and perhaps, brighter than anyone in the galaxy had yet imagined. The council chamber still buzzed with murmurs as the humans took their seats upon the central platform, a floating dais of polished obsidian. Delegates from thousands of star systems watched with a mixture of curiosity, skepticism, and barely concealed amusement. Humans were still an anomaly, a species known for tenacity but rarely seen in such halls of cosmic authority. Their arrival alone had disrupted centuries of routine protocol, and now the first true challenge awaited, a matter of galactic stability so urgent that indecision could mean disaster. A massive holographic projection erupted at the chamber's center, displaying the Zypherian sector in vivid detail. Wormholes twisted unpredictably, spewing arcs of ionized energy that threatened nearby colonies. The Zifri system itself, a cluster of jagged planets and crystalline moons, teetered on the brink of collapse. Thaler Varen's voice, calm and resonant, filled the minds of all present. The Zypherian system destabilizes. If the Council cannot act, countless civilizations will be lost. We must decide on immediate intervention. Recommend your positions, delegates. Immediately voices erupted. The Obsidian Synod, a secretive faction of beings who valued control and tradition above all, demanded a show of force. Deploy containment fleets. Obliterate the unstable cores. There is no time for negotiation, hissed one delegate, its translucent limbs pulsing with anger. A chorus of agreement followed, interspersed with rebuttals from pacifist factions insisting on observation and communication. The chamber became a maelstrom of debate, alien words intertwining like a storm of sound and light. Elric leaned slightly toward Lyra and Rian. This is what I expected. The Council debates endlessly while people suffer. That is where we step in. Lyra's eyes gleamed. Then let's cut through the noise. With a graceful gesture, she activated her translator, allowing her words to resonate clearly throughout the chamber. Delegates, consider this. The Zifri are not mere aggressors. They are a system in pain, destabilized by forces beyond their control. To destroy them is to destroy life itself. To understand them is to preserve countless civilizations. Her words hung in the chamber, heavy and deliberate. Many delegates shifted uneasily. They were used to logic and rules, but Lyra spoke to empathy, something many species had long abandoned in favor of calculated pragmatism. Elric's voice followed, firm and steady. Humanity has faced disasters far smaller than this, yet we endure. We have survived catastrophes, internal strife, and countless trials. And we have learned. Solutions built on understanding last far longer than solutions built on fear or force. We propose a mission of observation and engagement before any action is taken. The chamber remained silent, the stillness almost deafening. Then, a delegate from the crystalline conclave, a species of sharp-edged, refractive beings, floated forward. Its many facets reflected the chamber's light in dazzling patterns. You speak with conviction, human. But can you assure us that delay will not cost lives? Rian, usually quiet and thoughtful, stepped forward, his youthful energy radiating. We cannot promise perfection. No species can. But we can promise effort and intelligence. Humans act with purpose, not impulse. We will not stand by while destruction spreads, but we will not add destruction to it either. We will listen, learn, and act wisely. Thaler Varen's energy flared, a ripple of light that shimmered across the chamber. Interesting. Humans speak of wisdom without hubris. A rare trait indeed. And what of your approach? How will you engage with the Zifri? Lyra activated another hologram, this one showing the Zifri system in painstaking detail. Planetary rotations, magnetic fields, and unstable wormhole patterns. We propose a delegation to Zypherion. Not armed with weapons but with knowledge. We will approach the Zifri directly, understand the cause of their instability, and work together to stabilize their system. Only through collaboration can we avert catastrophe without violence. Gasps echoed through the chamber. Some delegates were incredulous. Collaboration? One hissed. Do you not understand? The Zifri are unpredictable. They will reject any interference. Elric's calm voice cut through the rising tension. We understand their unpredictability. That is why we seek understanding first. Humans have faced unpredictable threats countless times. What we have learned is this: when you act with care, when you act with respect for life, even the most volatile beings can become allies. Shylark, the elongated crystalline delegate from earlier, tilted its form thoughtfully. And you believe humans can succeed where others hesitate? Elric nodded. Yes. We cannot force the Zifri to cooperate, but we can show them that we value life more than power. That is humanity's greatest strength. Our resolve is guided by empathy, not fear. The chamber fell silent again. This time, the silence was different, contemplative, as if the delegates themselves were weighing centuries of tradition against the bold audacity of these humans. Finally, Thaler Varen's voice resonated across the hall. So be it. Humans shall lead a preliminary mission to Zypherion. You may act as observers and envoys with council support but without command of fleets. Let your actions prove the merit of your species. The galaxy watches, and your deeds will define humanity's place among us. Elric allowed a small smile to cross his face, but it was tempered by the gravity of the task. We will not fail, he said softly to Lyra and Rian. Not because we are the strongest but because we refuse to be anything less than what we can be. As the humans prepared to depart for Zypherion, the delegates resumed their positions, some skeptical, some intrigued, but all now aware that a new force had arrived in the council chamber. One small, adaptable species whose ingenuity, courage, and empathy might just reshape the galaxy. Outside, the Starweaver's engines hummed as it prepared for departure. Elric gazed at the stars stretching endlessly before them. The galaxy is vast, he said, and we are small. But our resolve is limitless. Lyra placed a hand on his arm. Then let's show them what humanity can do. Rian, already at the console, grinned. I hope they're ready for a surprise. And with that, the Starweaver launched into the void, the human delegation embarking on a mission that would test their courage, intelligence, and compassion, and ultimately prove that human resolve could shine brighter than any star, even among the ancient powers of the Galactic Council. The Starweaver glided through the cosmos like a silver arrow, leaving the luminescent grandeur of Veora Prime far behind. Outside the viewport, stars stretched into streaks of gold and white as the ship engaged its advanced warp drives. Every human aboard felt the weight of their mission, the delicate balance between hope and potential disaster. The Zypherion sector awaited, a chaotic system teetering on the edge of destruction, where wormholes twisted unpredictably, threatening to tear planets apart. Captain Elric Voss stood at the helm, hands resting lightly on the console. Approaching the Zypherion wormhole cluster in T-3 hours, he reported, his voice calm, betraying none of the tension beneath. Lyra, are the preparations ready for first contact? Lyra Kestel nodded, her fingers dancing over the holographic display, adjusting parameters for environmental scans and translation protocols. We've analyzed their communication frequencies, their energy patterns, even the planetary oscillations. When we arrive, we'll have every possible advantage in understanding them before they react. From her station at the rear of the bridge, Rian Sorrel couldn't contain his excitement. And we're not just observing, he said with a grin. We're going in to stabilize the system itself. I've run simulations on wormhole fluctuations and Zifri energy cores. We have a plan that could actually save the sector. Elric's gaze met Rian's, a mixture of pride and caution in his eyes. Remember, Rian, Zifri are not machines. They are sentient, unpredictable, and volatile. A misstep could trigger hostility, or worse, destabilization beyond repair. The young engineer's grin softened into determination. Understood, Captain. But if anyone can do it, it's humans. We adapt, we improvise, and we don't give up. You've taught me that. The ship hummed as it passed through the first of the unstable wormholes, a ribbon of energy twisting and spiraling in impossible angles. Lights inside the Star Weaver flickered as the vessel's stabilizers countered the wormhole's chaotic forces. Outside, space itself seemed to warp and stretch, stars scattering across the void like shards of shattered crystal. Lyra monitored the readings, her voice precise. Gravitational interference is increasing. Wormhole density exceeds previous council estimates by 20%. Rian, prepare the stabilizers for immediate deployment upon arrival. Rian's fingers flew across the console, initiating holographic displays of energy flows, planetary alignments, and core instability patterns. Stabilizers ready. Zypherion doesn't know we're coming yet, but it's going to feel our presence soon enough. Hours passed in tense silence, punctuated only by alerts from the Starweaver's instruments. Finally, the human crew glimpsed Zypherion itself, a planet surrounded by violet storms, jagged mountains rising from molten rivers that glowed like liquid amethyst. The atmosphere shimmered with ionic energy, constantly crackling in dangerous arcs. Moons, fractured and spinning irregularly, added to the chaotic ballet of celestial motion. Elric exhaled slowly. There it is, Zypherion. Beautiful and unstable. Lyra studied the holographic map. We must approach cautiously. The Zifri themselves are highly territorial. Any sudden movement could provoke aggression. Rian's voice was barely a whisper, tinged with awe. They're incredible. I've never seen energy patterns like this outside theoretical models. It's alive. The Star Weaver descended into orbit, shields humming as they absorbed the constant electrical storms. Small crafts, sleek and crystalline, emerged from the violet clouds. The Zifri themselves, tall, faceted beings that refracted the stormy light into shimmering rainbows, floated with cautious curiosity, scanning the human ship. Lyra activated the universal translator. We come in peace. We are here to understand. We do not wish to harm. The Zifri paused, their crystalline forms pulsing with light. A low, resonant hum filled the void, vibrating through the Starweaver's hull. The leader of the approaching Zifri crafts, a massive being named Xylarian, stepped forward. Its voice, though translated imperfectly, carried the weight of centuries. No one approaches Zypherion without consequence. Why do you come? Elric stepped forward, his voice calm but resolute. We come because your world is in danger. The Council sent us because we believe in understanding before action. We do not seek control. We seek partnership. Let us help. The Zifri leader hesitated, light rippling across its crystalline surface like liquid fire. Help is a dangerous word. Lyra's voice softened, patient and deliberate. We understand. That is why we will not act without your guidance. We will learn first, act second. Together we can stabilize Zypherion and prevent catastrophe. A tense moment passed. Then Xylarion tilted its form in a gesture of cautious consent. Very well, humans. You may enter. But one misstep, one careless action, and your presence will be considered a threat. Elric nodded, a mixture of relief and determination in his eyes. Understood. We will honor your trust. The Star Weaver descended through the violet clouds, shields absorbing arcs of energy that danced like living lightning. Inside, Rian's hands moved tirelessly across the console, preparing stabilization equipment. Lyra coordinated communication with Zifri engineers, deciphering their energy patterns and harmonizing human technology with Zifri systems. As the ship settled near the planet's core energy zones, Elric gazed at the stormy surface below. This is it, he whispered. Our first real test. Not of strength, not of firepower, but of patience, understanding, and human resolve. Outside, the Zifri watched, curious but wary. And inside, 3 humans, one captain, one strategist, one prodigy, prepared to demonstrate that even the smallest species could shine brightly among the stars, turning chaos into cooperation and danger into hope. The journey had ended, but the true mission was about to begin. The Star Weaver hovered just above Zypherion's molten surface, its shields humming under the constant assault of violet electrical storms. Below, jagged mountains jutted through rivers of liquid crystal, their surfaces reflecting the chaotic brilliance of the planet's unstable energy cores. Outside, the Zifri observed the humans carefully, their faceted forms refracting the flickering light like living prisms. Inside the ship, Captain Elric Voss studied the holographic maps projected across the bridge. The core instability is worsening, he said. If we don't act soon, the wormhole anomalies could collapse entirely. That would annihilate the system, and possibly trigger a chain reaction through nearby sectors. Lyra Kestel leaned over the display, her brow furrowed. The Zifri are intelligent, but their society is decentralized. There is no single authority we can negotiate with. We need to earn the trust of multiple factions simultaneously, or risk failure. Rian Sorrel, already immersed in the Starweaver's engineering console, nodded. I've mapped out a stabilization protocol. It's risky, but if the Zifri allow collaboration, we can prevent core collapse. I just need their cooperation to synchronize energy flows. Elric exhaled, tension tightening his jaw. Then we approach cautiously. Every action we take is under their scrutiny. One mistake and we turn allies into enemies. The humans descended toward a massive plateau where Zifri engineers had established observation posts. As they landed, energy arcs danced across the sky, illuminating the angular, crystalline figures below. The Zifri leader, Xylarian, floated forward, his faceted body glowing a deep violet. You approach cautiously, Xylarian's voice resonated in translation. Yet words alone will not stabilize Cypherian. Actions speak louder than assurances. Lyra stepped forward, extending a human hand in a gesture of trust. We understand. That is why we wish to work with you directly. Together we can stabilize the energy cores. We offer knowledge and collaboration, not domination. A tense silence hung in the air. Xylarian's multifaceted form pulsed slowly, a sign of contemplation. Many have tried and failed. Their arrogance destroyed what little hope remained. Why should we trust you? Elric's eyes met Xylarian's. Because we are humans. We do not rely on dominance. We adapt. We endure. And above all, we respect life, even when it is fragile or dangerous. If trust must be earned, we will earn it, not demand it. For a long moment, the Zifri remained motionless. Then, slowly, other Zifri engineers emerged, their forms refracting the violet storms into a kaleidoscope of colors. They hovered around the humans, curious yet wary. Lyra activated her translator. We need to synchronize our energy stabilization protocols. If we align human technology with Zifri energy flows, we can stabilize the cores before the wormholes collapse. But this requires collaboration, precision, timing, and trust. Rian's fingers danced over the Starweaver's interface. I've calculated the resonance frequencies for your energy nodes, he said to the Zifri engineers. If we combine your energy modulation with our stabilizers, we can distribute the load and prevent overloads. It's risky, but it's the only way. The Zifri exchanged glances, their forms pulsing with faint hues of agreement and skepticism. Finally, Xylarian spoke. You are audacious, humans. Perhaps your species is not like the others. We will allow it. But any error will be catastrophic. Elric nodded, relief and determination mingling in his expression. Then let's begin. For hours, humans and Zifri worked side by side. Lyra coordinated communication between factions, ensuring that every energy node operated in harmony. Rian adjusted stabilizers in real time, improvising solutions as unexpected fluctuations threatened to derail their progress. Elric moved among the Zifri, offering guidance, encouragement, and reassurance that humanity was here to help, not dominate. Outside, the violet storm seemed to respond to the unity below, arcs of lightning flickering less violently as energy flows began to stabilize. Slowly, the molten rivers reflected steadier patterns, and jagged mountains shimmered with a calming brilliance. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the central core pulsed steadily. The wormhole anomalies began to settle, the chaotic energy streams aligning into a harmonious flow. The Zifri engineers hovered, astonished. They had never witnessed such coordinated precision across species lines. Xylarian floated toward the humans, light refracting across his form. You have done what many thought impossible. You acted without arrogance, without force. You have earned a place among us. Elric bowed his head slightly. We did not act alone. Your guidance and cooperation made this possible. Humanity's strength lies not in domination, but in partnership. Lyra smiled. The galaxy is vast. There is much to learn. But this is proof that even the smallest species can bring stability to chaos, if they act with intelligence, courage, and empathy. Rian's eyes sparkled with youthful triumph. And maybe a little stubbornness, he added with a grin, eliciting faint pulses of amusement from the Zifri. As the humans prepared to leave the surface, the storms above Zypherian had calmed significantly. The violet arcs still shimmered, but now they danced in rhythm with the planet's stabilized energy. Elric looked at his companions. This is just the beginning. The Council sent us here to test humanity's resolve, and I think we've passed our first challenge. Lyra nodded, her gaze scanning the horizon. But there will be more tests. The galaxy will judge us not just on our success, but on how we handle adversity, skepticism, and unforeseen danger. Rian, already tinkering with a new set of stabilizer calibrations, said simply, "Good. I like a challenge." Outside the Star Weaver, Zifri ships escorted the humans back toward orbit, a silent acknowledgement of trust and respect. The once volatile system now hummed with energy and harmony, a testament to cooperation between two very different species. Elric gazed out the viewport, watching the violet storms fade into calm luminescence. Humanity's place in the galaxy isn't guaranteed, he said softly. But if we continue like this, if we act with courage, intelligence, and empathy, we can shine brighter than any star. The Starweaver's engines roared to life, lifting them toward the void. Below, Zypherion glimmered like a newly reborn jewel, stabilized and alive. And for the first time, the humans understood that their true mission wasn't just to survive or prove themselves. It was to demonstrate that even a small, fragile species could change the fate of worlds. The Star Weaver rose from Zypherion's violet storms, leaving the once chaotic planet now glowing with a steady, harmonious light. The energy cores pulsed evenly, and wormholes that had threatened destruction now shimmered like cosmic bridges. Humans and Zifri alike watched the spectacle in awe, their combined efforts manifesting as a tangible testament to cooperation. Inside the ship, Captain Elric Voss leaned against the bridge console, staring at the planet below. "It's stable," he whispered. "We actually did it." Lyra Kestel allowed herself a small, satisfied smile. "It's more than stable. The Zifri system isn't just surviving, it's thriving. And we didn't force them to accept us. We earned their trust." Rian Sorrel floated nearby, adjusting some final calibrations on the Starweaver's energy conduits. "And in record time too. I'll admit I didn't think they'd allow cooperation so quickly. Humans are unpredictable in the best way." Elric chuckled softly. "Unpredictable, yes. That's part of what makes us effective. The galaxy expects patterns, predictability, control. Humans, small, fragile humans, bring something no one can anticipate: adaptability, persistence, and a willingness to do what's right even when it's hard." Lyra activated the long-range communications array. The holographic image of the Galactic Council chamber appeared, suspended in orbit above Veora Prime. Thaler Varen, the presiding elder, glimmered with energy, his form pulsating in anticipation. Around him, delegates from thousands of worlds shifted, their attention fixed on the humans' report. "Earth delegates," Thaler's voice echoed in the Starweaver's bridge, "the Council awaits your account. Speak." Elric straightened, projecting confidence and humility at once. "Esteemed Council, the Zypherian system has been stabilized. Our efforts, combined with the guidance and cooperation of the Zifri, have prevented core collapse and contained the wormhole anomalies. No lives were lost, and the system now functions in harmony." The chamber fell silent, delegates exchanging astonished glances. Many had doubted humans' capacity to act effectively in such a volatile environment, expecting either failure or reckless interference. Instead, the human delegation had demonstrated precision, empathy, and strategic brilliance. Lyra stepped forward, her calm voice carrying clarity across the chamber. "What we accomplished on Zypherion was possible because we approached the system with respect, listening first and acting second. Humanity's strength is not in dominance or weaponry, it is in understanding, in collaboration, and in the perseverance to act wisely under pressure." From the holographic display, delegates' faces shifted, some in awe, others in reluctant admiration. A particularly ancient delegate from the Elythian conclave, a being of shifting light and shadow, tilted its form thoughtfully. "Your species, small, fragile, yet audacious, has demonstrated wisdom beyond what many older species exhibit. You have acted not out of fear or aggression but out of purpose. Remarkable." Thaler Varen's voice resonated through every mind present. "Earth delegates, you have done what many deemed impossible. You have proven that even a young species, small in number but vast in spirit, can influence the course of civilizations. The Council acknowledges your success and records it as a precedent for interstellar cooperation." Rian, unable to resist, whispered to Lyra and Elric, "We actually did it. The Council, they're impressed. That's insane." Elric smiled, though his expression remained composed. This is only the beginning. The galaxy will continue to test us. But today humanity's resolve has shone bright. Lyra's gaze shifted to the broader council. And let this be a lesson not just in what humans can achieve, but in the value of trust, patience, and partnership. The Zifri were not our enemies, they were a challenge to understand, a test of cooperation, and together we overcame it. Even the Obsidian Synod, the secretive faction long skeptical of human intervention, remained silent, a rare acknowledgement of respect. They could not ignore the proof of humans' integrity, ingenuity, and courage. Thaler Varen's energy pulsed brighter, almost radiantly. Let this moment mark the legacy of your species. Humanity's place among the stars is no longer uncertain. You have shown that courage, intelligence, and empathy can shape the galaxy's future in ways that sheer power cannot. The Zypherian system is a testament to your resolve, and your deeds will be remembered in council records for millennia. Elric felt a surge of pride, not for himself but for all of humanity. We acted not as conquerors but as collaborators. We showed that even small, fragile beings can achieve great things if guided by purpose and integrity. Let this be a reminder that resolve is not measured in strength, but in the willingness to persist, to understand, and to care. The council chamber glimmered with renewed energy, delegates nodding and pulsing with respect. Even species that had doubted humans' capabilities now recognized the irreplaceable value they brought to interstellar diplomacy and crisis resolution. Lyra added quietly, and this is just the beginning. Humanity's legacy will grow not through war, not through conquest, but through action, understanding, and perseverance. The galaxy will come to know what we have always known: small, determined species can shine brighter than any star. Rian's grin stretched wide. Looks like humans just got a seat at the real table. Elric's eyes softened as he looked at the Zypherian system through the viewport. The storms had calmed. The violet glow had softened into a harmonious pulse of life and energy. Yes, he said quietly. And it's our responsibility to keep it shining. Outside, the Star Weaver glided through space, leaving Zypherian stabilized and thriving. The galaxy, ancient and vast, had witnessed humanity's courage and ingenuity, and the ripple of that legacy would echo across countless worlds. The humans had arrived as outsiders, underestimated and fragile. But they departed as equals, their resolve shining brightly among the stars, and the council itself would never be the same. Back in the orbiting chamber of the Galactic Council, the mood had shifted. What had begun as awe and admiration for humanity's success on Zypherian was now tempered by murmurs of skepticism, envy, and quiet unease. The Obsidian Synod, the council's secretive faction long wary of outsiders, moved like shadows among the delegates, whispering doubts that carried more weight than any words could alone. Captain Elric Voss stood on the observation platform of the Star Weaver, his gaze fixed on the swirling lights of Veora Prime below. "I can feel it," he murmured to Lyra. "Some of them aren't celebrating our success, they're plotting against it." Lyra Kestel nodded, her expression grave. The Obsidian Synod fears change. Humanity's success threatens their influence. They'll try to undermine us, even if it means twisting facts or sowing discord among other delegates. Rian Sorrel frowned. "They can't deny what we accomplished though. Zypherian isn't just stabilized, it's thriving. Anyone with eyes can see it." Elric shook his head. "Yes, but perception is malleable. They'll twist the narrative to make it seem like we manipulated the Zifri, that we interfered for our own gain. We must be prepared." Meanwhile, in the council chamber, the Synod moved quietly but effectively. Shadowy figures intercepted communications, planting subtle doubts among delegates who had initially supported humanity's approach. Did they truly collaborate? One whispered. Or did humans manipulate Zifri technology to prove their superiority? Another muttered, "Trust is one thing, but control disguised as cooperation is another." Lyra's voice came through the Starweaver's secure comm link. "Captain, they're escalating faster than anticipated. Some delegates are openly questioning our integrity. We need to respond before the Council's trust wavers." Elric's jaw tightened. "Then we respond openly. Transparency is our weapon. Let's show them everything we did, every calculation, every collaboration, every decision made with Zifri guidance. We act openly, not defensively." The humans returned to the Council chamber, this time escorted by Zifri observers whose presence was both a reassurance and a subtle declaration of credibility. Elric stepped forward, projecting calm authority. "Esteemed delegates," he began, voice steady and clear, "we understand there are doubts regarding humanity's role on Zypherian. Let us be unequivocal. Every action we took was in collaboration with the Zifri. Nothing was done without their consent, guidance, and direct participation. We did not manipulate, coerce, or dominate. We listened. We learned. We acted together. Lyra brought up a holographic display of Zypherian's core network, showing live feedback from Zifri engineers. These readings, transmitted in real time by Zifri scientists, demonstrate the collaborative process. Human technology was aligned with Zifri energy flows only after their approval. Every adjustment we made was verified by them. Rian added with a confident grin, and for those who doubt human capability, the protocol logs show that we adapted and improvised solutions in real time, responding to fluctuations the Zifri themselves hadn't anticipated. No deception, only cooperation. The chamber was quiet, the Obsidian Synod's whispers faltering as the evidence became undeniable. Even skeptical delegates could see the depth of collaboration, the transparency, and the results. A stabilized Zypherian system thriving under combined stewardship. Xylarian's crystalline form appeared on the holographic display, pulsing in affirmation. Humans speak truth. Our systems reflect genuine cooperation. This outcome was not dictated, it was shared. They have honored our trust. A ripple of murmurs moved through the chamber. Delegates who had entertained doubts now hesitated. Some of the Obsidian Synod's allies faltered, recognizing that the human's integrity was impossible to dispute. Yet subtle tensions lingered. Jealousy and fear do not vanish overnight. Thaler Varen's energy shimmered, commanding attention. Earth delegates have demonstrated exceptional competence, transparency, and moral clarity. The Zifri themselves validate their actions. Let all doubt be tempered by evidence, not rumor. Humanity has earned its place among the Council's respected members. Despite the declaration, the Obsidian Synod did not retreat completely. They whispered to sympathetic delegates, sowing caution. Humans are young. Their methods are untested across diverse systems. We must remain vigilant. Elric's eyes met Lyra's. They won't stop, he said softly. They'll continue to test us, push against us. But that's expected. What matters is that we act consistently with integrity. Eventually, even skepticism can be converted into respect. Lyra nodded. The galaxy watches us closely now. Every mission, every interaction, every decision will define humanity's reputation for generations. But I believe we've proven that our species is capable of far more than anyone expected. Rian grinned, tapping the console with a spark of mischief. I like that. Let them doubt. We'll just keep doing what we do best. Adapt, solve problems, and show them that humans shine in ways no one else can. Elric allowed a rare smile. Then let's shine. Humanity's legacy is just beginning, and the galaxy will remember our deeds not for fear or power, but for courage, intelligence, and empathy. As the Council reconvened, the Star Weaver hovered in orbit, a symbol of both achievement and ongoing challenge. Humanity had proven itself in action, stabilized a volatile system, and earned recognition from an ancient council. Yet, the true test of their legacy was only beginning. The rifts of doubt, jealousy, and political intrigue would continue to challenge them, demanding wisdom, patience, and unwavering resolve. The galaxy was vast. The council was ancient. And humanity, small but relentless, had just begun to shine among the stars. The council chamber shimmered with anticipation as delegates from countless star systems gathered for the final session of deliberations. The Zypherian system had been stabilized, its recovery witnessed firsthand by many representatives, but the question now was larger. How would humanity's role in the galaxy be defined? Captain Elric Voss stood at the central dais, flanked by Lyra Kestel and Rian Sorrel. Their presence was a quiet statement. Humans had arrived not as conquerors but as problem-solvers, collaborators, and increasingly equals. Thaler Varen, the presiding elder, radiated a calm energy that filled the hall. Delegates, the Earth species has proven exceptional in both intellect and resolve. Yet the galaxy is vast and judgment must be collective. Let this session determine humanity's standing among us. Voices rose from across the chamber. Some hailed humanity's courage, citing Zypherian as a triumph of collaboration over force. Others, more cautious, reminded the Council of humanity's youth, their unpredictability, and the lingering concerns of the Obsidian Synod. Elric raised a hand, calling for silence. Esteemed delegates, he began, his voice steady, we do not seek dominance, nor do we claim superiority. We seek partnership. Humanity's path is guided not by conquest, but by understanding, by empathy, and by the courage to act when action is needed. Zypherian was a test, yes, but it was also a proof. Even a small species can make a difference if it chooses to act wisely and with integrity. Lyra stepped forward, her expression resolute. We ask not for favor but for acknowledgement of our values. Our strength is in adaptability, collaboration, and respect for life. The galaxy is complex, full of danger and uncertainty. But it is also full of opportunity, for those willing to act with purpose, thoughtfulness, and courage. Rian, youthful energy evident in every gesture, added, and if humanity falters we will learn from our mistakes. That is who we are. We don't give up. We keep pushing forward because every challenge is a chance to grow and make the galaxy better. For a moment, silence blanketed the chamber. Then, from the center of the council, Xylarian's crystalline form appeared, pulsing with light. The humans speak truth. They acted with honesty, skill, and respect. The Zifiri system's survival and stability are proof of their integrity. They have earned our trust and in doing so, a place among the stars. A ripple of agreement moved through the council. Even the cautious and skeptical delegates could not deny the evidence. Humanity's actions had been transparent, deliberate, and effective. Their ingenuity had not only saved a system on the brink of collapse but had also forged lasting relationships with an alien species whose cooperation was crucial for galactic stability. Thaler Varen's energy flared brilliantly, filling the chamber with a sense of gravity and history. Let it be recorded that the species of Earth has demonstrated that courage, intelligence, and empathy are as powerful as any weapon or fleet. Their actions have reshaped our understanding of what it means to act wisely and honorably among the stars. The Obsidian Synod, still wary, remained silent. But even they could not dispute the outcome. Humans had acted with integrity, had solved a problem that many thought insurmountable, and had inspired allies where skepticism once reigned. Elric allowed himself a small, genuine smile. We did not act alone, he said quietly to Lyra and Rian. Zifiri guidance, our collaboration, and our own resolve, all of it mattered. But today humanity's potential has been recognized, and that is a legacy worth protecting. Lyra nodded. It's a beginning, Elric. Not an end. We have proven ourselves, but the galaxy is vast. There will be more tests, more challenges, and more opportunities to show what humanity can do. Rian's grin was infectious. And I for one can't wait. Let them throw whatever they want at us. We'll adapt, overcome, and shine brighter than ever. Thaler Varen's voice echoed through the chamber one final time. Let all delegates witness this moment. A species small in number, fragile in form, yet vast in spirit, has shown that resolve, courage, and cooperation can shape the fate of worlds. Humanity's place among the stars is not merely granted, it is earned, and it shines brightly as a beacon of hope for all civilizations. As the Star Weaver prepared to depart, the humans gazed once more at the council chamber, the delegates, and the stars beyond. The journey had tested them, on Zyphirian, in the political halls of the council, and against doubt itself. But they had endured, adapted, and risen to meet every challenge. Elric's eyes drifted to the distant galaxy stretching infinitely beyond the viewport. We are small, he said softly, but our potential is limitless. Humanity's place among the stars is not defined by might, but by what we choose to do with our courage, our intellect, and our empathy. Lyra rested a hand on the console. The galaxy is vast. But now we have shown that even a small species can leave a lasting mark. That is the human legacy. Rian, ever eager, tapped the Starweaver's controls. Then let's keep going. There are more stars to reach, more worlds to help, and more challenges to meet. Humanity isn't just here to survive, we're here to shine. And as the Starweaver launched into the cosmic expanse, leaving the council chamber and Veora Prime behind, the stars themselves seemed to shimmer brighter, reflecting the unyielding human spirit. A species once underestimated, now recognized, would continue to act with courage, wisdom, and empathy. Humanity had arrived among the stars, not as conquerors but as beacons of hope, proof that intelligence, collaboration, and moral resolve could shape the galaxy. And from this day forward, the legacy of humans would be written among the stars, a reminder that even the smallest species can shine with brilliance that outlasts galaxies themselves.